dude, and I know this is off. I'm going to try to keep on subject with this podcast, but so talk about weird shit here, not to do with fucking
Ghosts.
Yeah,
At night. Yep. At night. Yep. Down the hallway there.
I've made jokes about it before. I've talked about how like I've felt like if you walk out, because we're in an old big building. I want to say at one point it might have been maybe even a hotel.
Either like a hotel.
It's been a couple of things.
Or some sort of like, because I mean they're all offices and there's apartments above it, but it's built it's a historical building in town.
Built in the 1800s.
Yeah, and it is like it could have been a hotel or it could have been like a health clinic or something like that. You know what I mean?
I feel like I read at some point maybe in the 1900s it was a hotel.
It probably was a hotel. But it's
been multiple things.
Yeah, and it's set up like a hotel. It looks like a fucking hotel.
So I've always kind of like thought like whenever, and I've said it before, when you walk out and you have that hallway there,
Yeah.
I just always expect to see like a figure there.
Oh yeah, under that dim light.
Yeah.
That's over by the
I always just
elevator.
expect to see just one like maybe looking out the window and it turns around and like looks at me or some shit.
We'll have to do footage sometime of just us walking and put it on here because like
That's
how
when
it's set up
something
is
will pop
real creepy.
Something will pop up in the back.
I wouldn't fucking doubt it, dude. I wouldn't fucking doubt it because it's creepy. Like you walk out of our studio, you know, you lock the door, dim lighting at night, and you go down this. It doesn't even look like a hallway. It's just a big open area.
It's almost like if you look.
What do they call that? Is it a corridor?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
If you think about old hotels.
Yeah.
And you have like when you walk in, let's say if you walk into an old hotel and you see the fucking staircase coming up the middle, and then it branches off into fucking two hallways on each side.
Yeah.
That's what it is set up, like an old hotel or an old mansion.
Yeah.
You have the fucking big staircase, and then it branches off on the side. So we're up on one side, and if you look down the hallway, you have the opening for the stairs to come up, and then you see into the other hallway too.
Mm-hmm. And to the right of you, if you're walking out to the right of you, is a elevator that goes clear up, down, all that shit.
So has been, I don't know, maybe a week ago. I was here late. No, it had to have been just Friday. You guys played Friday, right? Or you guys didn't play Friday, you played Saturday.
I played Saturday. No, we played Friday and Saturday.
Oh, Friday was snowstorm.
That's right.
Yeah, so Saturday.
Saturday, you're right. Forgot. We got
Whatever
snowed.
one you actually played. So Saturday. I was in here. Yeah, because fights. I was talking about the fights. Mm-hmm. And I get up, totally by myself. I don't think anything of it. I try to stay as alone as possible, so I have no problem with that.
Right.
So I get up and I go to the bathroom. So the bathrooms there it's a public bathroom. So the door is, for some reason, the men's door is always propped open.
Yeah.
And I've talked about before how I swear that I've closed and then I've come back out and it's been open.
Yeah.
And it's when nobody else is here at all, weekends and nights. With this one, I never closed it. So I just left the door open and it has a fucking doorstop. The door can't fucking move. It's the fucking doorstop.
Yeah.
I walk in, I piss, I turn around, I'm walking back out, and that door fucking closed on me as I'm walking out. How? It physically doesn't make any sense because the doorstop is pushing. It can't close, and it fucking closed.
I believe it. I fully believe it.
I was like, I could probably see if they have the footage of that in that camera across the way.
That would be sick.
Because it fucking just
opens up you shitting in there,
looking at the camera, looking right at the camera,
directly across. Shut the door. Ghost in their shit.
That's what it was. The ghost was shitting, and it was pissed off.
Yeah, fucking sweating, got a shirt off. They're just fucking flies around his head. Fucking shirt off, the box fan on the ground.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, just fucking ash in the toilet.
Hey, close the door.
Close the goddamn door.
And I didn't, so it's just like. But that fucking, as I'm walking out, the door fucking like hits me, and I'm like, I was like, what the fuck? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And that's the opposite, like I said, of what normally happens, where I'll close it and it'll end up open.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And then, so that's all that I've had really here. I've had other weird things. I've heard things. Shit's been strange here. I go home, and 2 nights later.
Well, I mean, your apartment is the worst fucking.
But I haven't had anything there in a minute.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm never there anymore, but I haven't had anything there. I walk into the kitchen. It's 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
I walk into the kitchen, and I shit you not. As I'm walking out of the kitchen, there was this Tupperware lid that was on the oven that fucking flies off and hits me in the arm.
Flew off the fucking oven?
Off the oven. It wasn't like sitting like sideways to fall off.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't if it would have
Frisbeed at your ass.
If it would have fell off, it would have just fell on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm walking by and it fucking hits me in the arm, and I was like, I picked it up and put it back over. I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I've talked. If you go back to our old podcast, like I've talked about a lot of the shit. You've talked about a lot of the shit, but. That's what they moved out too. I'm fucking out.
Can't do it no more.
It followed me here. That's why it's fucking like, hey
move
man,
in.
Where are we going?
It's your new roommate.
Where are we going? Anyway,
I feel like. Have you noticed that whenever weird shit happens, everybody I've ever known weird shit happens, they do the thing where it's like, wait a minute, kind of thing. Like it happens and they ignore it or they don't.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
And, like,
because I've had lights turn off and on and shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, I've had a lot of those.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Wait a minute here.
Like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
It was weird, dude. And it fucking, like, I've told the story before about walking down the hallway and something went, like, running by and brushed up.
That's the
me.
worst. Yeah. Okay, so if we haven't, we have a million times.
Yeah.
Cody lives in the same apartment as I lived in with him for years. Literally lived with the dude for like 10 fucking years. And we lived at this apartment, and Cody still lives there. And it is just notoriously haunted and weird. Everybody.
It's so haunted that...
It's just like a normal thing to everybody that comes in there.
One time, I had left my book bag at somebody's house after the bar one night.
Yeah.
And the dude didn't know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah. Did he just like drop it off?
So he looked through the book bag to see if I had anything that had my address on it. Mm-hmm. It had my address, but he found a check stub. So he found the address, but then he saw where it was from. So he ended up just, instead of bringing it to my house, he brought it into work. Mm-hmm. And when he brought it into work, he was like, hey, man, he's like, you dropped that off. But he's like, I wanted to talk to you. He's like, because I went by your house first or something, like you weren't there. But he's like, I wanted to be able to talk to you about it, about where you live. And I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, you know that place is haunted as shit, right?
Like, notoriously haunted.
And I'm like... Yeah, I mean, I did know that at that point. You know, we're talking, like Colby had plenty of issues there.
Yeah.
And I had heard and seen things, and especially that year was a lot of things. But I hadn't really talked too much about it out, and he's part of a different group of people that would have even known us talking about it.
Right.
And he started telling a story of a time whenever they were all up in the apartment partying, and there was somebody who had a kid. And the kid stayed in the far bedroom where my daughter stays. And the kid was in a crib. It was a little kid. And one of them had gotten one of the people that were partying in the living room. And you go from the living room, you go to across the hallway into the bathroom. One of them had gone to the bathroom. And as they were walking, they saw a kid run down the hallway back to the room. So they came back. After going to the bathroom, came back and told the person, was like, hey, your kid is out of the crib.
Yeah.
Like, that's impossible. The kid not only can't crawl out of the crib, but, like, wouldn't just be running back and forth. I don't even think they were old enough to be running back and forth.
Yeah. And
they go over and look, and the kid had never been awake, got out of the crib or anything.
Yeah.
And there was tons of other stories like that. And that's just one of them. That's the proof, essentially, that it's more than just us that have seen it. There's been so many people that have, for years, that have said these things.
Weird old fucking children's beds up in the attic and fucking cribs and shit that is up in the attic that are fully put together that have just been sitting there with like fucking...
There's an old Raggedy Ann doll from fucking way back.
That was tucked in that bed? Yeah, for years.
Yeah.
There's like fucking weird shit.
Claw marks on
the back of fucking the
dresser
chair
up there.
Yeah, the chair has... It's like,
It's fucking
It's
weird.
It's
and
weird.
It goes back It goes back so far. And like whenever he stopped and whenever he told me that, he said something about how he had done some research, and then I did separate research to prove it. Was that it was like an old, I think it was like the health department at one point.
Yeah.
And during maybe the flu epidemic or something, they had a bunch of people up there
in beds and shit.
That were dying and dead.
Because it looks like a house. So it looks like a big house, and there's multiple apartments in it.
It's a duplex.
It's a duplex, and there's multiple fucking like levels to it.
And it's a big historic house.
Yeah.
And then I think it went maybe maybe at one point it was like an orphanage for a second.
Yeah,
I
heard that one.
So there was like dead kids and stuff. There was like weird things going on with that. It goes so fucking deep
because it's been around and been used since it was built.
Yeah, 1800s for sure.
Yeah, it's been used the entire time.
Yeah, it's wild. I'll talk shit to the ghosts and stuff. I've had them fucking like at one point I'd like kind of like shut a door in my face or whatever, and I was just like, hey, motherfucker, like I don't care. Like you can live here, but we ain't doing this.
Cohabitate this apartment.
We ain't doing this. You ain't doing this shit.
I remember going back to the apartment whenever we had the screen printing business, and I was getting something from the apartment that we had forgot, and I was standing at the what do they call that area? That's the stairs where it's like
the foyer.
Not the foyer, but like the landing area.
Oh, I guess it'd be a landing.
Is it called a landing?
Yeah, because it's the classic old stairs where you go up 8 stairs, stop. I guess it'd be a landing, and then the next.
And then you walk, and then you go to the next stairs. And I was standing there, and I look up and just seen something run across the fuck, because you can see the stairs. So if I'm standing and looking up, is the top of the stairs, and that's where the apartments were up here, like where we lived. I don't know if you can see that. Like if we lived here and I was standing here looking up, you got to go up the stairs to get to where we live, like our bedrooms and shit. And I was standing on the landing, looking up at the top of the stairs, and something just goes runs across.
Which it all like, if you think about,
and that was always
that dude's story. My story of something
which is
small,
the same hallway as the fucking
my story of something small brushing up against me. And that all goes back to the kids stuff.
The weird attic lights turning on and off when we were outside, like from the outside looking up.
Yeah,
we would leave. We'd go to the fucking gym. Nobody in the house, and our attic light would be like obviously off because the one was up there. And we would go to the gym and come back and look up, and the attic light would be on, and it'd like turn off. And like nobody was there. So like you literally can't get in there. Like it's physically impossible.
Yeah, I mean, because back then we weren't even using it for anything.
No,
like it's not that anybody had been. It just didn't happen. And the way the lock was on the door, nothing was happening. That was going on constantly. My daughter's toys, the one I'm like.
That one's funny.
It would freak me out at 3 a.m. because, of course, it'd be 3 a.m.
The witching hour, dude.
Not like every night, but like every now and then at 3 a.m. there's a certain toy that would light up and get played with in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know where the videos are, but I had a couple like snaps that I would send people like, I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. And it had to be one of the dead kids, I guess. It was like, hey, what's this new technology?
It's fucked up, dude. Yeah, fucking playing fucking little pianos and shit, just dancing around.
Just fucking like 7 kids just fucking dressed in like era fucking like
Renaissance outfits or whatever era that would be.
Way predated. We just predated all this shit before Renaissance era, before it was ever made.
Yeah.
What is that? Fucking.
What is that?
Dressed like steampunk.
Yeah, dressed as steampunk. Yeah.
Pissing me off.
Getting a Zeppelin. We got to go.
Even though it was built in like 1870
or
whatever.
Yeah. A fucking steampunk kid. But yeah, dude, it's creepy shit, man.
It's weird. And I know that's not anything that we plan on talking
about.
No,
hell no, but it's creepy as fuck.
Popped in my mind that like those two things happen, and it's been a minute since I've dealt with it.
Yeah.
I normally fall time, and I understand that fall is when you're thinking about it, but fall time is when I normally deal with it in summer.
Summer for sure, yeah.
But it's been, I don't even think I had any issues even over fall this year. But that fucking 2 things within a couple days of each other. That thing fucking, that Tupperware thing fucking, it clipped me. Fucking.
Knocked you out.
It drops me.
Hit your head off the fucking
just
linoleum.
Just me, just dead.
Yeah.
What happened? He must have had a back issue. No, it's fucking.
No, you fell down the basement stairs.
It was the
ghost
fucking
pushed
ghost
you.
pushed me.
Fuck you.
Fucking piece of shit. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
It's probably my basement dweller.
He's a ghost. You go down there and you do the ghost with him. Instead of like making pottery, though, you're just lighting like fucking crack pipes and shit.
Around.
Yeah, just stripping copper wire from fucking tubing
Around
and
his
shit.
back, fucking.
Yeah, like ghost, dude.
Oh my Lord. Stripping copper.
Yeah, stripping copper. Like he, a crackhead lives in his basement. A literal crackhead, or a meth, or which one?
Who knows?
Both of them. He's like a literal, like that's what he does.